Hello, guys. Hopefully you can hear us and you can see us. So as always, I would like to start with the confirmation that we are available for you. If anyone can just provide us with any comment that we are live, we can go. Okay. Thank you. So welcome again on our Tuesdays CoffeeNOW sessions. Today with me there is Agnieszka, who is leading our SPM functions in SPOC. I'm not sure, but maybe it would be good, Aga, if you introduce yourself briefly.
Hi, Aga, with coffee. And I'm a mainly solution consultant from an SPM product now in SPOC. I interview clients, prepare the scope, and meet a lot of the clients presenting the ServiceNow solution.
And work on quite interesting, let's say, requirements that we are delivering to our customers in terms of SPM. And that's the reason why we've decided to touch upon this topic right now. So SPM as such, many of you can recall the name PPM. That was the previous name of entire project-related suite that ServiceNow delivers, that ServiceNow provides to us. But like we mentioned, we see that there are really more and more things going around SPM. There is definitely a bigger demand, which is growing. We are right now involved in many SPM implementations, smaller, bigger, for different
and
types.
not only implementations, also consulting on a site where the clients are right now, how they can improve their process and how they can work better.
Exactly, reviewing the configuration, auditing, providing the best practices, right? As like in many cases, a lot of customers that did customize and configure SPM too heavily, right? And they're trying to, let's say, make it a little bit more out of the box, more lean. And like Aga is saying, there are really different types of, let's say, engagements around SPM. But there are also things that are not available out of the box that customer would like to have. And this is the main topic of today's presentation, right? So how to settle a project that is driven, that is managed in ServiceNow platform, right? Initially, this topic, this functionality was something that we prepared for ourselves, for SPOC. As you know, we are a company that is delivering projects to our customers, right? This is our core business. And we are, of course, using ServiceNow platform for our business purposes. So one of the things, the most important things that we do with the platform is controlling the way we are providing the projects, but also we would like to have this visibility into the costs, benefits, incomes, margins, right, that are connected to what we are doing. And the first real case example of settling the costs, let's say from end-to-end perspective, was something that we did for ourselves. And later on, doing those meetings, those discussions with our customers, we see that almost everyone, almost each of the customers that we are talking to is interested in understanding, okay, how can we extend this functionality that we have out of the box? How can we understand what are the costs versus the benefits, the revenue? And this is what we are going to talk about today, right?
And
Yeah.
for us, that was easier to understand the client needs, as we are using that on a daily basis. We calculate the cost hours, we are checking what is going on with our resources. So that was easier to understand for us. What is the goal of the clients using the SPM?
Exactly. You can think, of course, about external projects and the necessity to understand the profits, right? But you can also think of this as the internal projects that you deliver within your organization, and also, sell internally initiatives, engagements that you manage and control in the platform. What's really important, if you have any question, guys, right, please put it into the chat, and together with Aga, we are monitoring the queue, and if there are things that you would be asking about, of course, we will address this during the session or just after we finish. Okay, guys. So when we go or when we start the discussion with our customers, right? Again, different type of engagement. How we usually start this kind of cooperation. These are workshops, right? So you can think of discovery workshops. You can think of scoping initiatives that we conduct at the very beginning to understand where the customer is, right? What's the case? What are the problems that they are facing? And
and what is the process which they are using, the following, and issues or maybe the situations that we can see a lot is a lot of the applications supporting the various of the applications supporting the PPM as a process. Not only the PPM as a project management, but also, and believe me, these are from Excels to MS projects and others applications, but also connected applications to manage the resources and at the end financial perspective of the projects, and really various combinations of integrations trying to match everything to gather the endpoint, the outcome from a financial perspective.
Exactly. So you can see that it's not the optimal productivity that you gain when you want to support your process with different types of tools, like Aga is saying, from Excel, which still is the biggest competitor for our SPM functionality, throughout different types of the tools, right? And to address this, right, or to help us gain this productivity, improve the way you are working with this discipline, this area, ServiceNow, within the strategic portfolio management suite, right, delivers application solution capabilities that can facilitate, let's say, entire end-to-end process, right? So if you are thinking about strategy, if you are building or planning roadmaps, if you are going through the demands, project execution, transition, governance.
If you would like to manage your, for example, budget for the whole year and roadmap where you are and where you will be at the end of the year, if you would like to understand the holistic picture of the SPM, that is now available. But this is not always the approach that we are delivering or proposing to our clients. The first thing what we are doing on the scoping sessions are the discussions. What is the process and what is your need? If the client needs really a small implementation which will end up on the demand level, of course we can do it and we can propose that, which is of course close to the box, or not always, but slightly customized. But we have also projects which are from a holistic view, that we are starting with a demand and we are finishing on the financial perspective.
Exactly. That can be overwhelming if you look at this, in a first step, right? So many things. And of course, again, we were mentioning this a few times already with CSDM, with different initiatives, stage by stage, right? Or step by step. You can get there, but I'm not sure, Aga, if you've seen a customer that is right now, managing entire end-to-end process with only ServiceNow related applications. We are heading there, we are going there, but it's really not that easy. It requires a lot of time, engagement, effort. But yeah, you can think of this, right, as this ultimate solution that beginning from identifying the organizational strategy goals to delivering this throughout the projects. This is there, ready and waiting to be utilized. And if we would like to decompose those products, if we would like to think how that portions can be achieved, right? You can see in this slide that there are really a lot of application and capabilities divided into 2 or 3 licensing packages, right? So even when you take the, let's say, standard package of strategic portfolio management solution, you really get a lot. You can think of an investment funding. Many of you may know the product called idea management, which right now turned into innovation management. Demand, resource, projects, those are those applications, right, that you need to understand, identify, or we together should identify what would be the best starting point in your case, right, in your regarding to your requirements, and then just plan how that could be implemented. Together with those products that you see on the left side of the slide, there are really nice, let's say, additional capabilities, workspaces like alignment planner workspace or business planning portals. So this kind of
time management. And please remember that also with, for example, these applications and capabilities, you don't need to do the full process from idea through project, resource, and so on. You can end up with a demand correlated straight away to save. And we saw that situation that is working perfectly, and you can work on your epic stories straight away inside of the ServiceNow with a correlation and with a starting point on the idea.
Exactly, and that's the beauty, right? Like Aga mentioned, one of our customers, they just took demand and scaled Agile framework, and this is the portion that they use. Different ones start from innovation management and goes throughout those applications on the left side. This is something that, of course, needs to be understand, work out, and overlap to your specific case. The most, I would say, fruitful implementations, right, or the group of products that we see are really bringing the value, if you would like to manage the way you're delivering projects, is this set of application processes, functionalities that can support you with providing the visibility, alignment, and velocity of the value of the products that you are delivering, right? So probably, Aga, that's the, let's say, optimal suite of applications that customer can take from this SPM package, right, and really benefit from
out of it. Yeah, that is the perfect, and as I can say, that is an ideal combination of components to manage the investment management, to plan the year from a roadmap and budget perspective. That is an ideal solution, ideal world of components. And all of these components are correlated each other. So if you will do, and if you will open an idea, you can go to a demand. From a demand, you have a full visibility of on your full portfolio of your services which you deliver and which you support the projects, right, in the organization. But as I said, that is an ideal combination, and not always is so. It is as easy as on this slide. So maybe let's jump to a less ideal combination, which we see on the daily basis.
Exactly, but still, this is more and more, let's say, a popular concept. But again, when we start those engagements, when we start to talk to our customers, surprisingly, a lot of them still, let's say, treat our SPM as a project management tool, like Aga is quite often summarizing, being used as a WBS approach, right? So customers think of our solution that this is a project management to set up opened projects and then just manage, get the visibility of the tasks that are just being completed or not.
Yeah, exactly. They think that they can, for example, move their tasks from an Excel sheet to this tool, and that will be good enough. But in our world, that is not a tool only to create, view, and manage your projects. Of course, you can do everything what is related with projects. You can control the task, you can control the timeline of the project, that you can check how on what percentage that is completed. Of course, that is available. But now, when we are facing and we are have a scoping sessions with our clients, we propose next steps for what reasons and what is the benefit of using the additionals from a ServiceNow.
Exactly. It's not the way that you will, realize the value of the investment in ServiceNow if you take SPM and only focus on the projects as such. Because, like we were showing to you, there are a lot of nice functionalities, and probably the one that most often is the natural next step after we talk about projects is the resource management application. Right, Aga? Can you just briefly tell us what we are using this for?
Yeah, as we are creating the task out of the projects, we would like to understand who in our organization can be assigned to that project and how we should, manage the situation. If we have enough capacity, for example, for delivering the projects. So now we are proposing the resource management application, where you can request, plan, schedule, and allocate your resources. And by using this solution, you can not only plan the whole year with a capacity if you are able to deliver that project, but also you can allocate and assign people to specific tasks and control if they are delivering their duties to the end of the specific task.
Exactly. And that's another application in the platform, right? So resource management has its dedicated business logic, dedicated security rules, not only meant, but of course, the best perfect cases that you have a dedicated resource manager that is working, focusing mostly on resources, right? But if the situation is different, if you have a person that partially is focused on managing resources, we can of course easily adjust this in the way that the specific person gets what is needed, in this case from that application. And resource management app comprise of many nice functionalities, and probably the best example to tell you how you can work with it, how you can utilize this, is the resource allocation workbench, right? Where you can see, you can get a lot of information in one place, and you can manage the way you are, let's say, working with resources, how you plan, how you allocate. Right, Aga?
Yeah, and that application will support you on a daily basis, because that is not only a view which will show you the resource plans with a requested and allocated hours. That's true, because that is the main usage of it. But also that will give you the visibility who is overloaded with the tasks, for example, where we assigned too many of the tasks, and normally in a today's world we shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. But in the project management is not always the ideal word. So you have a situations, you have a scenarios when someone will disappear from our projects, or when we plan the project with a planned days in a month ahead, and we didn't assume that someone can go for vacation, sick leave, or something like that. And that visibility, that resource allocation workbench will give you the ability to fix that, to replace the user in that specific week, in the specific project resource plan, or so on, or split the work between various resources. Maybe someone is more needed on additional different project, and we can take some allocated hours from one person and add it to a different one.
Exactly. So how I like to think about this is that this workbench gives you really convenient way to react ad hoc on different type of situations that happen. But okay, going to the main point of what we would like to discuss today, right? We need to start from providing the information that we can, let's say, introduce, we can load, we can provide to the platform information about the rates of people or the rates of group that we are managing throughout our initiatives, right? And those rates, Aga, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are providing them against hours, right?
Hours, yes.
And
And
we
we
can,
have various combinations now in the system. So you can add the criteria based on the groups, rules, locations, or different ones taken from a different tables. It means that we can add a rate per a combination of various types of tables, of course, built on the user or resource, and assign a specific rate which will be used per project. It means that, of course, the hours and the planned days are really important in the project, but also you would like to know how much that will cost me from a project perspective, right?
exactly. And yeah, we have a question from Kamil. Can I integrate data with rates with a financial system and trigger automatic invoices at the end of the month? That's a good question. So I believe that this is something that we did a few times, right, Aga? So let's take grab the information about rates from different solution and upload them to the platform on a, let's say, regular basis. That should not be the case. That should not be a difficult case to fulfill. Of course, depending on the system that you would like to integrate with, but in general, yes, you can do it. Depending on the scale, it can be a valuable, let's say, thing or not. We can
Yeah,
upload
and
them
that is not
manually and integrate.
that is outcome, but I can say also that you can receive a income to a ServiceNow, because there are also possibilities to integrate the financial system to update the rates in the rate model in the ServiceNow.
Exactly. So depending the way, it's needed, but taking into consideration how flexible the platform is when we think about integrations, yes, we just need to, balance and understand if that is something that will bring us profits. Exactly. So as we did mention, right, those rates can be, let's say, assigned per a group, role, location, and that really gives you this flexible approach to, just provide a rate for a specific case, right? The same group may have a different one depending on different conditions, right?
Yeah, maybe let's jump to our example, because we prepared some short example to show you how that will work. If we have a project and we have a new build resource plan under this project, and we build the resource plan and we have a requirement to build to fulfill this resource plan with a group for analyst, route, pricing, and location San Francisco. Using this combination, we can simply find a person whose rate are defined in the table. We can assign the hours for how many hours we need that resource, and we can have a total cost automatically calculated. And this automatic cost will bring us the planned cost per project. Of course, please remember that you can have multiple resource plans built for different purposes, different tasks as well, right? With a different rates, with a different costs.
And those multiple plans, of course, can be just associated to a specific project or even a task, right? And listed one after another, again, and in a really, I would say, a handy and convenient way, giving you this flexibility and visibility into those costs. Exactly. Going further, right? How we are generating the actual costs. If you recall that slide when we were showing you applications and the capabilities of the SPM solution, there was something that we are calling a timesheet portal, right, Aga? This is the
yes, because on a planned cost, we showed you how to do the plans. But how about the actual situation now? And to control the situation, if we plan that in a correct way, or maybe we added two less or two more hours, and we would like to see where we are, right? So ServiceNow proposed the solution called Timesheet Portal now. So a user who is assigned to the portal, to the task, can easily log in to the portal and can add the time cards per project and can log the hours spent on the project, on the task. And these hours are submitted, of course, and approved by a manager or a project manager. And these hours are added straight away to our project. That will generate the actual hours. So not only the planned hours are visible on the financial tab, under the projects, but also the actual hours spent on the projects.
Exactly. So this is how, by default, in out of the box, let's say, setup, right? We are able to compare planned costs to actual costs, right? That flows to us from what people are registering, what actually they did. And again, the process of providing, submitting, approving, like Aga already mentioned, right? It's something that, of course, easily we can design, we can tailor. And this timesheet portal, really handy solution. We've seen examples of customers using mobile app just to quickly enter the values to the platform, and this is the way, again, to understand the actuals. But can we say that these are those internal things, right, Aga? We can say that this is something ready and waiting for you, but more and more customers, they're asking about.
Would like to use this system for external use as well. And as with out of the box, they are easily able to understand the internal cost, planned cost of the projects, and so on. That is good enough for internal use.
Exactly. But if we think about, let's say, some add-ons to cover external needs, let's put it this way, right? We are able to provide some, small out of the small configurations, small add-ons to what we have in SPM solution. And for example, larger customers, few of them, right, are identifying the project by providing the classification, right? So you know that you can deliver the work, that you can deliver the project or part of the project on a, for example, fixed or time and material manner, right, or time and material approach. And this is something that, again, we did for ourselves, Saga, right? And later on,
Yes.
we
And that drives the cost, and how you will manage the cost and the revenue on the projects, and expected way how that will be paid under the delivery time, right? So
exactly,
this is
yeah,
why we are proposing this classification now on the projects, and we work on it with various clients now.
exactly. Because when you think about fixed type of the project delivery, right? We, in this case, please correct me, Aga, if I'm wrong, but we are utilizing benefits plans, right? And let's say identifying and checking the milestones. If you compare this to time material, you have expense lines that are generated out from those time cards, right? That provide this type of information.
That's
And
correct.
yeah, another
And it's
example.
easier to control on the invoicing part as well, right? At the end.
Exactly. Another example of how you can extend the approach to measuring this information. This is something that is available by default but not visible, right? So this is something that you can expose and utilize. So I'm talking about costs override.
Yeah, that is called exactly the rate override in the system that is available on the resource plan. And there are various options how to use it. For example, if you have a rate model implemented in the organization, and from time to time you have projects that you can add, for example, additional price for a person, right? So you can use that button, and you can use that ability to update the rate of that person. Or we had situations, and this is also what we propose to our clients, that from time to time when you are working with contractors, for contractors, you will not keep the rate models, rate lines in the system, maybe, but not often. So using that possibility, that can give you the option to, per project, add a specific rate for this specific person.
Exactly.
But that is still cost.
Or we can think of a person that is acting, because I've seen those examples, you can think of a person that is acting in different roles in the project, right? So, for example, at the beginning, I can act as an architect. Later on, my involvement can be turned a little bit more into, development. This is really a flexible solution for you to adjust, let's say, different scenarios. And we have a question about multi-currency, which is again a case that we've been working or going through a few times, right? So you can imagine, and I know that probably you will handle these questions better, that question better than me, right? But from the question how the system is handling multi-currency, where the external rate is a different currency than an internal rate. So quite a challenging case, I would say, but doable, right?
Yeah, that is doable, and that now that is not even challengeable because the ServiceNow provides you additional plugin which is called multi-currency. So that gives you ability to set up the rate on the resource plan in a different rate than different currency that is defined on the project level. So at the end, the important part in here is that the enter point where you need to define what is your default project currency, and you can define the cost and even the additional cost like a hardware cost, for example, you can add in a different currency, and at the end, at the month final report, you will receive it in the values on the calculated automatically based on the project currency.
And thank you, ServiceNow, for the plugin, because I recall one of the first engagements that we had. That was kind of a challenging thing, but almost everything can be done in the platform. The next example, right, which really brings us to the main thing of today's meeting is the external rate, right, and the way we can approach understanding what are the revenues, right, what are the potential incomes, what at the end of the day is the margin that we can get from the project. This is something that was customly made by us, right, and then some of the customers adopted that solution.
Yes, that is a scenario when you have an internal cost of the employee, and from time to time you have a contracts when you propose a different rate for that specific project on this specific person, and it means that to tell you the truth, that of course will give you much more money, maybe more money than is a cost of the project, right? How you can calculate the margin and the revenue of the project. So there is an option, and this is what we've done internally on our instance as well, that we added the option to add the external rate per project, per task, per resource plan. So every time when you are entering the new project, you can revise this sales rate, this external rate, and add it in the system. Based on that one, you will have a financial summary, which is also pretty easy to be added to the system because that is a customization. But based on these values, based on the cost, actual hours, we can calculate the total actual revenue, total actual cost, total plant revenue, and total plant cost. That gives you the full visibility where you are in the project now and what is the expected behavior at the end of the project, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And the last thing that you see in the slide is the estimations, right? So
yeah, and estimations are out of the box, as I can say. And that is an extremely nice feature because estimate at completion is built to show you that is built, calculated based on the actual hours added to the system, comparing and of course using the plant cost. And estimate to completion is fully on the plant hours and plant cost. So that is a value where you will be at the end of the project, of course, assumption, right? And all of these financial values and financial steps, that is really nice to be used in the system. But at the end of the story, what you would like to receive out of the full picture are also reports, right?
Exactly. So we were just showing you some examples of customizations or utilization of what platform brings in terms of understanding the costs versus revenues. But of course, if you have a different challenges, if you have a different, let's say, use cases that you would like to address, we are more than happy to get into the discussion with you. Like Aga was saying, we were showing you those mechanisms, those fields, that dirty stuff, but on top of that, we have really nice dashboards.
Yeah, and these dashboards which are presented in here, these are the completely out of the box dashboards. Of course, we can adjust that to present the actual revenue in here as well. So in that dashboard will give you the full visibility of the whole portfolio or program, right? Where you can choose, for example, multiple projects and programs under one portfolio, and you can see where you are in a moment in time and comparing to the, for example, planned budget to the end of the year. So that is a pure control on the situation, on money, on budget, and on resource plans where you are with capacity.
Exactly. As we are getting to the end of the time, what I would like to tell you as a takeaway, right? If you think about managing projects in the platform, there is not only a project management application, but if you think really about managing and driving your initiatives, you probably should really include resources and financials aspect to give you this big picture. Thank you, Aga, for your time, for helping, supporting, and sharing your experiences. Again, guys, if you have any things that potentially can help you out with meeting or providing the requirements around managing financial aspects of projects that you are conducting, we are more than happy to get in touch with you.
Yeah, and we are more than happy to answer all of the questions after the call.
Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.